Hello, welcome to Here We Go. In this lesson, let's explore the corner bent 4 shape. We have already learned that bent 4 shapes are usually alive when they are in the middle of the board or on the side of the board. But when this particular bent 4 shape is on the corner, we need to be more careful. So here on the upper left, if white plays first, of course white can live. But if black plays first, then the result is a ko. Black should play here, and if white plays here, then black captures the ko. And if white finds a ko threats outside of this pattern, white can capture back. But you need to keep in mind that in this pattern, black is trying to kill white, and black is capturing the ko first. That's really important. So if black wins in the end, black will be able to capture white like this. Or black can also make it into a bent 3 pattern and kill white like this. Of course, capturing white is easier. If white wins this ko, then white will capture this black stone and make 2 real eyes, so white will be alive. So this is the basic pattern for a corner bent 4. Now let's look at the lower left. With 2 outside liberties, what's the result? If black does this again, then white will play 1-1 again. Black captures. And now it seems like a ko, but it isn't. Recall in the previous lesson where the corner 6 with 2 outside liberties was not a ko. Similarly, in this case, white can play this. The 1-1 point now is an illegal move for black. Black cannot place here. So black can play elsewhere, and eventually white will be able to capture both black stones. And these are 2 real eyes, and white will be alive. So the result for this pattern, a bent 4 in the corner with 2 outside liberties, is a living shape. What about a corner bent 4 with 1 liberty on the outside? It is still a ko, because in this case, white cannot play this move, because black can capture white if there's only 1 outside liberty, like this. Therefore, if there's only 1 outside liberty, this bent 4 is still a ko. Now we've looked at the 2 bent 4 patterns, but these are not the most common in games. What's more common in games and life and death problems are the patterns on the lower right and the upper right. These two are very similar. Let's look at the lower right first. So in this pattern, what you should immediately realize is that white is frozen. White cannot play either of these 2 intersections, because if white plays one of them, then white will only be able to capture these 3 black stones, and the result will be a straight 3, and black will be able to kill white. White should not play in here. So what should black do here? Obviously, this would be a bad move. This would allow white to capture a straight 4, a living shape. If black does this now, that's also a bad idea, because this will just be the same as the pattern on the lower left. Corner bent 4 with 2 outside liberties. So black would want to occupy all the liberties on the outside, like this. And now, when the opportunity is right, black can trigger the corner bent 4 and the ko, like this. Similarly, on the upper right, white is once again frozen. If white plays this or this, black will be able to turn this into a bent 3 pattern, and white will be dead. Therefore, if we are black, let's occupy the liberties on the outside again. To trigger the corner bent 4 ko, black will play this first, and then play this, and do it like this. So you might think that the end result for both the upper right and the lower right are ko, but that is wrong. Because if you look at beginner books, you will find that corner bent 4s are dead shapes when it is like the upper right and the lower right. But why? So the logic is this. Let's see if you can follow it one step at a time. So number 1, as we discussed, black has total control in this situation. White is frozen. White cannot do anything before black makes this into a corner bent 4 and starts the ko. And once black triggers the ko, black captures first, as we learned on the upper left. Number 3, in order to win the ko, white must capture the ko back. In order to capture the ko back, white must have ko threats elsewhere, meaning white must have meaningful moves elsewhere that forces black to respond. But number 5, black can save the upper right and the lower right, these patterns, until the end of a game. And what can black do at the end of a game? Black can eliminate all code threats on the board by itself. Theoretically speaking and practically speaking, black can indeed eliminate all code threats on the board at the end of a game. And once black does that, black can trigger the bent 4 shape on the corner as well as the code. And when black captures first, like this, white will have no code threats left on the board because black has already eliminated all of them at the end of a game. Thus, white cannot capture back. White can only pass at this time. And once white passes, black will be able to capture white. And that is why the corner bent 4, like the upper right and the lower right, where white is frozen, is actually a dead shape for white. If the corner bent 4 already appears as the upper left, then it is a code. If the corner bent 4 appears with 2 outside liberties, then it is a living shape. But when white cannot play and only black can play, in this pattern on the upper right and the lower right, the corner bent 4 is a dead pattern. It is the same pattern, but the results are completely different. And that is part of the reason why the game of Go is so fascinating. Thank you for watching.